No.
You know that?
Good evening, everyone. I'll call this meeting to order of the Planning Commission for the City of Victorville, October 25th, 2017. Roll call, please.
Thank you. Chair Kurth?
Here.
Vice Chair Porter? Here. Commissioner Huber?
Here.
Commissioner Dew?
Present.
Commissioner Marsh?
Here.
Thank you very much.
Please rise all for the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance. Invocation by Commissioner Porter.
Opportunity to meet. Lord be with those who are
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. We have some minutes to approve. Previous meetings. We'll start with the meeting of September 13th, 2017.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
A motion by Commissioner Dew, a second by Commissioner Huber to approve the Planning Commission regular meeting minutes of September 13th, 2017. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Those minutes have been approved.
And we have the minutes from the special meeting of October 4th, 2017.
So moved, Mr. Chairman. Second.
So have a motion by Commissioner Dew, a second by Commissioner Huber to approve the Planning Commission special meeting minutes of October 4th, 2017. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And abstain from Commissioner Porter. Vice Chair Porter. Thank you.
Okay, we'll start with agenda item number 1. Staff report, please.
Thank you, Chairman Kurth. Item number 1 is case PLN 17-00010. It is a request to allow a 3-year time extension, modification, and mitigated negative declaration for 11 previously approved vesting tentative tract maps consisting of 842 single-family residential lots on approximately 240 acres within the West Creek specific plan. The applicant, Walton, California, is requesting these 3-year extension of their maps that are associated with the remaining 2 phases of the West Creek specific plan. The proposal also includes modifications to these maps, which include additional amenities for the residents, such as a trail system within the SCE easement and 4 small parks totaling approximately 6 acres. These modifications were done in accordance with the recently adopted specific plan requirements of our municipal code that became effective January of this year, which requires additional open space and amenities for specific plans that allow smaller lots such as this. The proposal is a vesting map. Vesting allows the developer to continue with the development with the land use codes that were in place when they applied. We don't envision the city would make changes, since we've already kind of gone through the changes of to residential. But the vesting rights would allow them to proceed with the standards that are in place on our books at this time. And that does not include any state or federal standards, so they would still be subject to those if they were to change in the future. These maps were originally approved in 2005. The Subdivision Map Act allows us to continue these for up to 6 years, and this is their first 3-year installment of a time extension that they're requesting. There was an add-on that I want to just add to the record. Staff's requesting an additional condition that was left out regarding a airport disclosure. So that condition is also requested that you add. And then also there were some agency comments that were received after the clearinghouse review ended. So those are also included along with staff comments. But as of the comments that received so far, staff sees no issue with you acting on the proposal, and we find that it substantially conforms with the codes as they stand today, and we recommend approval as conditioned.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the commission? I'll go ahead and open up the public hearing on agenda item number 1. Is the applicant or representative anyone here that would like to speak?
My name is Dean Paradise. I'm with David Evans and Associates. I'm the civil engineer on the project. Just want to let you know I'm here to answer any questions you have. I also have 2 representatives of Walton Development are here to answer any questions you may have as well.
Thank you. Questions from the commission? None? Is there anyone else here to speak to us on agenda item number 1? Seeing no one, I will close the public hearing, and I'll bring it back to the commission for a determination.
Here, Kurth, before you guys make a motion on that, I was just informed by our city engineer that he'd like to make one slight modification to the conditions. And Brian, if you want to read that into the record.
Yes, it's regarding, it may not be the same number for all the tracks, but it's the same condition. And it reads, the developer shall prepare a water quality management plan and install on-site post-construction BMPs for treatment of stormwater runoff in compliance with the State Water Resources Control Board MS4 permit requirements. That's the language that's already in the condition. All I want to add is as required by the city engineer. The reason is there may be we may be able to accept some of the water quality management plans that have already been prepared, so it allows that latitude.
That means there's a possibility that the little bit less burden on the applicant then, as long as city accepts that.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Seventeen one 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 through 17.
and notice which discloses the direction and distance from Southern Logical Airport. This notice shall record with the final map, including legal description for all lots, and shall be subject to staff review and approval. And the added condition from Brian for the engineer.
I have a motion by Commissioner Porter, a second by Commissioner Huber, a second by Vice Chair Porter to approve planning case PLN 17-00010 with the recommended change in wording by the city engineering regarding the water quality management plan as required or requested by the city engineer. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That project has been approved.
And I'd like to say that I know the city staff spent a lot of time working with the Planning Commission. We spent time, over this last year working on some of the amenities and requirements for specific plans and PUDs. And we've received the color-coded map that actually shows some of the things that you're willing to do: parks, walking trails, upgrades, to these neighborhoods. So it's really nice to see it actually on paper now, and next up, hopefully, we see it in real life. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 2, I'm going to have to declare a conflict on item number 2 and item number 3. I am working in a brokerage capacity on one of these transactions, so I feel it would be it'd be unfair and a conflict of interest if I was to vote on either number 2 or number 3. So I'm going to abstain and leave the room, and I'm going to turn it over to Vice Chairman Porter to run the meeting. Thank you.
Agenda item number 2, would you staff report, please?
Thank you, Commissioner Porter, members of the Commission. Agenda item number 2 is planning case number PLN 17-00021. It's a conditional use permit and site plan to allow for the development of a full-service car wash, approximately 7,000 square feet, on a 5-acre building site. This building site sits on an approximately 22-acre overall site. However, the development itself will take place on 5 acres, approximately, of the overall site. This proposal is accessed via super arterial roadway, Bear Valley Road. It's a permitted use as a full-service car wash, and conditions have been included to differentiate this from any other kind of self-service type of car wash, which would require in this case, requires employees to be on site during all business hours. As proposed, the site includes adequate stacking to prevent any circulation issues off-site or on-site. It is designed in accordance with the commercial design guidelines, including a futuristic modern type design of the building with concrete, colored glass, exposed metal, and wood type elements. The graphic originally showed multiple phases, a phase 2 and a phase 3. However, that was provided at the request of staff to ensure that future circulation on and off site would be adequate. It is, so this proposal is only for the phase 1 of the development, which is the car wash. As you'll see on your screen, you have the updated elevations that were provided recently by the applicant as well. Additionally, this week, staff received additional comments from 2 agencies and 1 neighboring property owner regarding the CEQA documentation. Specifically, comments were received from the Regional Water Quality Control Board, which were resolved with staff working with said board to clarify the provisions of the initial study and mitigated negative declaration, as well as provide an updated condition of approval, which you'll find in the update memo provided to you today. Additionally, the Department of Fish and Wildlife commented and requested updated conditions to cover all species that were not previously discussed. Those have been updated as well at the request of the Department of Fish and Wildlife. And lastly, there's comments and a discussion in the late memo regarding the use of septic on the subject site. Staff would note that the proposal meets the memorandum of understanding between the city and the Regional Water Quality Control Board for the use of such systems, and it is conditioned to connect to sewer in the future when available. In this case, septic was permitted due to the location of the existing sewer, capacity issues, as well as topography on the site, which would make it infeasible at this point in time. That being said, staff recommends approval of the case as conditioned and with the revised conditions as noted in the late memo provided.
Very much. Before I open the public hearing, if you wish to speak on any item, there are white cards in the back that you need to fill out so that the secretary gets the right name and address. Well, I'll declare the public hearing on this item open and ask if anyone wishes to speak to agenda item number 2. Once I'll close the public hearing and
Nobody wants to make a motion now, project, and, with the objectives and requirements of the development code, and the location and include conditions of approval not be detrimental to the public health, safety, and welfare, nor material properties or improvements in the vicinity due to placement in surrounding C2 designated property. And the traffic generated by the proposed car wash will not overlay the capacity of the surrounding street system, not created a hazard to public safe, as Bear Valley Road is sufficient in size to handle increased traffic created by this development, and the site meets all applicant standards of the Title 16 as conditioned. Adopt resolution number P-17-036 approving the site plan portion of case number PLN 17-00021.
Second.
So I have a motion by Commissioner Huber, a second by Commissioner Marsh to approve project PLN 17-00021 with the revisions as proposed by the case planner regarding the requests of other agencies. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The project has been approved.
agenda item is a public hearing on agenda item number 3.
Thank you, Vice Chair Porter, fellow commissioners. Item number 3 is case PLN 17-00034. It is a site plan and conditional use permit to allow for an automated car wash and drive-through restaurant on a C1 zone property with an environmental exemption. The applicant, Speedwash, is requesting this approval to allow for this manned operating facility for a car wash and drive-through. The car wash will include an 8,000 square foot building, which will house an office space, break room, storage area, and the car wash operations. Also included on site on the southern end of the site is a proposed drive-through restaurant facility totaling 1,500 square feet. Additionally, there will be 20 solar shade canopies that will also have self-serve vacuum stations at the site. The proposal qualifies for an exemption to the Environmental Quality Act due to its size being less than 5 acres and the fact that it's been previously disturbed. The site currently is used for the Marcanelli Nursery, and a portion of the site was also used for almond rock. Staff finds that the proposal meets all of the applicable municipal code standards and as conditioned, and we recommend approval, and we're available if you have any questions.
I'll declare the public hearing open and ask if anyone wishes to speak on this item. Being no response, I will close the public hearing. and turn it back to the commission.
Madam Chair, I find the project categorically exempt under C 15332 entitled Infill Development Projects. Number 2, site resolution number P-17-0. Subject to the establishment condition of a condition use permit, adopt resolution number portion of case number PLN 17-00034, subject to the attachment condition of approval.
Second, and this is another real good-looking project.
I have a motion by Commissioner Dew, a second by Commissioner Huber to approve PLN 17-00034 as conditioned. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The project has been approved.
Moving on to agenda item number 4. It looks as if we're looking at a request for another continuance to the December 13th meeting. But I'll open up the public hearing if anyone wants to speak to us on agenda item number 4. Seeing no one, I'll make a motion to move agenda item number 4 to December 13th, 2017 Planning Commission meeting.
Second.
I have a motion by Chair Kurth, a second by Commissioner Dew to continue item number 4, PLN 16-00029 to the December 13th regular Planning Commission meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That will be continued to December 13th.
Thank you. Now, in compliance with the Brown Act, it's necessary for the Planning Commission to make available time for members of the public to address the Planning Commission. Is there anyone here that would like to address the Planning Commission? Any comments from, final comments from commissioners?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to thank the staff for the hard work in which they provide professionalism towards us making decisions to move the city of Victorville forward, and I'm grateful for their expertise. Thank you, and I yield back.
I agree. Any comments from staff? Nope. Nothing? Okay, then thank you all. Meeting adjourned.